Now that we're in part 2 of how to differentiate your profile with the top 11 tips, this next section is going to focus on tips number 6 through 10 about specific sections of the work experience, and also a bonus tip, number 11, on how to actually make your background image on your LinkedIn profile, give it a little visual pop to your profile. So the descriptive work experience, this is another opportunity to really show your story. So as in the summary, write in the first person. Don't ignore this area. This is an opportunity for you to tell a little bit of a story and even highlight an aspect of a specific thing that you did in your professional experience already. Use bullets. You can do that for sure. Use some descriptive text and then use bullets, but stay away from resume speak. Don't start a sentence like you would in your resume where it says implemented, developed, etc. You can add media or links in this area, so you can provide a visual portfolio of your work. You can add links to websites. You can add a link to a blog. You could add a link to just about anywhere. If the place you were working at or currently working at has a company video, show that. It doesn't have to be all about you. You can also put up presentations. You can put up pictures with a caption. So for example, if you received a certain award, maybe you'd like to put that in there. Perhaps if you've been in the press or the media, include that. And then LinkedIn's SlideShare app is a place where you can share a presentation. So if you've done a presentation at work or even during your time as an MBA candidate, this is where you can include that. So SlideShare has moved, and SlideShare is a little bit different than the older version of LinkedIn. On the older version of LinkedIn, where you could add your media section, there was a place for presentations that automatically put you into SlideShare. That doesn't exist anymore. So now if you want to upload a presentation to SlideShare, you go into the upper right section in the toolbar of your LinkedIn profile and click on those 9 squares. When you click on that, this opens up and says Visit More LinkedIn Products. And as you can see on the second line in the middle is SlideShare. Once you click on SlideShare, you follow the directions to be able to upload your presentation. Another thing you can put in your work experience section is to take any recommendations you've received and go in there and quote a snippet of that recommendation. Some have said that isolating a powerful sentence from a recommendation can be added at the end of your work experience description. Because recommendations now is in its own area at the bottom of the profile and kind of serves as its own little block of information, then this is a way to take a little bit of a quote out of that recommendation and include it at the end of your work experience. So be sure to attribute the quote and put in the person who said it, and then, of course, the title of where they work and the name of the company. So here's how you can do that. Here's a screenshot on the left side of the recommendations section. And so now it's sort of a list of all the various people who show recommendations. So even if you had recommendations and you were using the older version of LinkedIn, they've just all been moved now. The recommendations that used to be specific to that role that you had at a certain company no longer live there. So in Jill's recommendation, I highlighted she went beyond the typical workshop by giving tangible actions you can do right away. So I isolated that and made that a quote. And so that's really saying something powerful. It's a really powerful sentence to really show who you are. And what's nice about that is you have the voice of someone else reinforcing who you are. Now that we've talked a little bit about recommendations and how important they are to the work experience section, we're now going to talk about the endorsements and skills section, which is another very important part of your work experience. Now, the difference between endorsements and recommendations is sometimes confused, so let me straighten that out for you. Endorsements are a simple one-click way for your connections to endorse you for the skills you listed on your profile. In the recommendations section, when you ask somebody to please write you a recommendation, first of all, they do have to be a LinkedIn member. But their recommendation to you is a written statement, is a validation from a first, second, or third level connection. For more detailed information on recommendations, be sure to watch William Aruta's recommendations video. Now we're going to talk about the endorsements and skills list. It's really in your power to say what you do and focus on what you do well. This is a huge opportunity. Recruiters or hiring managers can see at a glance the skills you possess and where you excel. This is a chance to really focus and get specific with the skills that you list, to not generalize too much. As your skill endorsement numbers build, it simply reinforces that you're very good at that skill. But how valuable are endorsements? Endorsements are not really heavily weighted by recruiters and hiring managers, so I wouldn't lose a lot of sleep over this. They scan the numbers, but they don't place a lot of value there. Again, the skills are most critical. So the skills list is essential. Skills are critical and help rank you higher in LinkedIn search and general SEO on Google and other browsers. Skills are made up of the keywords that you researched that are relevant to your profession and industry. You can list up to 50, but 25 to 30 is typically the sweet spot. If, as you start getting your profile ready and you have absolutely 0 skills listed, I'm going to show you how you can do that, and then aim for 5 to 10 skills to get you going. You can always add in more later. I want to emphasize that you can select your specific skills. Top 3 showcase skills can actually be reordered in the list so that the top 3 skills you most want to be known for can be in that top 3. There used to be a top 10 list, and now it's a top 3 list. Again, don't worry about the number next to your skills. If it builds, great, but don't place a lot of time there. So let's talk about where you can find the skills section. It's just to the right of your header and your profile shot in the upper right of your profile page. So under Add New Profile section, you will click on Skills. And if you don't have any there, then you're going to click on the plus sign to add the skills. And then this window will open. And this is where you can put your list. This is a partial list on the back end of my LinkedIn profile. So where you want to add a new skill, you can go up to that blue pencil icon in the upper right to add in each new skill. I will advise that you be careful that you don't get too redundant in your skills. So for example, if you put just marketing as a skill and then you put marketing strategy, I would suggest you do marketing strategy or marketing strategist, because that's much more specific than just the generic word marketing. The other thing you can do when the new window opens after you click the pencil icon is this box as well. And this is where you can reorder your skills. As you can see here, it says reorder. All you need to do is put your cursor on these 4 lines, and you can click and drag them into the order that you want. As you can see over here, there's 99 plus up here, 86 here, and 17. These 3 at the very top of the list are the top 3 skills that will show up on the profile. Anything after this shows up in the list, just like this window here. You may also adjust endorsement notifications to your connections. So as you can see here at the bottom of where your skills list is, you can click on Adjust Endorsement Settings right here. And then this window will open up, and this is where you can adjust the actual notifications for the settings that you wish. So as you can see here, there's a toggle switch here. If you click on that, it'll click to no. I'm sure you've seen these before on mobile apps. So if you want to be endorsed by 1st, 2nd, or 3rd level connections, and you set that to on, then they will receive a prompt on occasion. It's random, and they can endorse you. If you want to be included in endorsement suggestions to your connections, that's similar to what I just described. And if you want to be receiving endorsement notifications about people you know, then you can set this button over here as well. This is very subjective, so just be thoughtful in what you would prefer. The volunteer section is an effective way to get more attention. It's a way to showcase your interests and who you are beyond just what you do for a living. 60% of hiring managers who consider volunteer work as important as work experience. So whether you've walked in a relay for life, swung a hammer for Habitat for Humanity, or even served in an advisory role on a board or on a board of directors of a nonprofit, all of those things matter. Include a sentence or 2 about the specifics of your role within that organization. That also shows to people who are looking at your profile the breadth of your talents and skills, and it also shows a little bit more about your human side too. Of course, you want to showcase your MBA courses and your projects in education. Projects is a section that you can add as well. In the courses section, include and highlight the courses you've taken as part of your MBA program. In the certification section, if that applies to you, is specific to professional certifications you've earned. So to get some reach out of that, you could put Course A would go under Courses, and its degree would go under Education. Course B would go under Courses, and its certification would go under Certifications. And then any special projects you've worked on, especially with other people you're connected to on LinkedIn who were part of that team, and tag the teammates who you're connected to on LinkedIn, because that actually ends up showing on their project section too. Highlight your honors and recognition. Again, this is something where you sort of get to toot your own horn, and it's expected on LinkedIn. This is the kind of thing that visitors want to see when they come to your profile. You've likely listed them on your resume, but maybe not in as much detail as you have the opportunity to do in LinkedIn. Another way to get noticed and show your skills and expertise is through recognition of your relevant achievements. Add them with a description similar to what we talked about in the volunteer section of what they represented for you in the organization. Here's a screenshot of the sections we're talking about under accomplishments. So this is the section when you click on Add New Profile section, again in the upper right of your profile page, then all of this opens up. So you click the plus sign and then add the appropriate section as you want to. Publications, certifications, courses, projects, honors and awards. Patents, probably not applying to you. Test scores, that's actually really geared toward high school seniors who are trying to get into college and are using LinkedIn for that effort. Publishing articles is a great way to increase your engagement on LinkedIn almost by half. It is a significant way for you to gain a ton more visibility on LinkedIn. It also helps in your ranking because LinkedIn's little robots in the background see that you are putting up creative and unique content about your expertise or a topic that includes your expertise, and you get rewarded for that. So here's a screenshot of people who write articles. So over on the left, you'll see a screenshot or you'll see a thumbnail of that article, and then below it says see 14 more articles. Once you click on see more publications, then this will open up and it'll list all the various articles that you've written, and it'll be a place where people can scroll and find the topic that they want to read. If you'll notice underneath the graduate photo to the right, there's a little icon with an arrow going up, and that talks about how many clicks of your article. If you click on that, that'll actually give you more insightful metrics to see who's viewed, who's shared, etc. Please watch the detailed video about publishing articles. Now that we've made it through those top 10 tips to differentiate yourself on LinkedIn, I'm including a little bonus tip here, which is going to help give a little extra visual pop and really sort of an ultimate differentiation to your LinkedIn profile. So this is tip number 11, the final tip, and this is about adding visual interest with a background banner image. So here's a screenshot here where you can see this banner here in the background. The specifications for the LinkedIn background banner image are 1,584 pixels by 346 pixels. That is the recommended image size. And there are a few online tools that are free that can help you to create that background banner image. You do have the option to go into LinkedIn with the suggested background images they have, and they're very nice images. They're very photographic, illustrative kind of things. But if you want to do something for your own branding, whether or not you work for someone else or you just want to create something interesting for yourself, especially if you're open to opportunities and putting yourself out there for that, then think of your background banner image as sort of like a mini billboard and another piece of real estate to tell a mini story about you. And just note that whatever you put in your banner image with a website address or a phone number or an email is not clickable, but everyone who connects with you or sees your profile in public who's not even a close connection to you, like third level or lower, they can see that because they can't see, those level people who are way down there can't see your contact information. So if you want to make it user-friendly for them to reach you, then putting some of that information, the part that makes sense for you, in your banner image will be seen by the general public. So Canva, canva.com, Canva.com, has a free version with a template specific to a LinkedIn banner image. So you can go in there and follow the prompts. It's very, very user-friendly. And you can upload an image if you have one for yourself, or if you have a logo, or if you just want to create something with an image you've taken, then you can upload that and get some benefits from the tools there. You can also get Canva for Work for free for 30 days to get more features. Click the pencil icon to the right of your profile photo to open the edit area to insert your banner image. So as you can see at the top here, you can see a little screenshot section of the banner image with that little pencil to the right. Click that. And then the next window that will open is the screenshot on the bottom, and it'll give you the sort of grid of where you can do some editing to your background banner image. So this is where you can change the photo. So this is mine. So you'll see a button that says Change Photo down in the lower right of that screenshot next to the Apply button. On yours, if there is not a background banner image there already, then it will just say Add Photo. So mine says Change Photo because I could go in and want to change it and put up a different image. And so I created this image with the copy and my logo in Canva, and then I uploaded it here. So you can adjust it. You can click and drag the image to get it exactly where you want it. You can actually add a filter now, sort of like what Instagram allows or other filters in your photo apps. So just click Apply to save, and it will be all ready to go. Now that you're armed with the top 11 tips to differentiate you on LinkedIn, just remember this: visibility leads to opportunity. This is a quote from Coca Sexton, who used to be in charge of LinkedIn's programs, and now he's off in a social media role for a large company. But he's exactly right. Visibility leads to opportunity. So put your best profile out there. Put your best foot forward, as they say, and showcase your talents, highlight your story, and really stand out and do a lot more than the average user of LinkedIn, because it's what's going to get you found online, and it's what's going to make you interesting when they meet you in person.